Now to the biggest headline from Canada. They have a new Prime Minister, a man called Mark Carney. He will replace Justin Trudeau. Remember, Trudeau resigned in January. In fact, he was forced to resign after 9 years in power. His party is the Liberal Party. They started scouting for a new leader. There were many names in the ring, but in the end, they chose Mark Carney. He won nearly 86% of the ballots cast. Now, Carney is no stranger to leadership. He was once the governor for Bank of Canada. He led the Bank of England too. He was a special UN envoy. So his resume is stacked. But here's the twist. He has never held a political position.
I know that these are dark days. Dark days brought on by a country we can no longer trust. We are getting over the shock, but let us never forget the lessons. We have to look after ourselves, and we have to look out for each other. We need to pull together.
So who is Mark Carney? Why did the Liberals pick him? And is he the right leader for Canada, especially with the trade war brewing with the United States? We'll try to answer all of this. Mark Carney was born in Fort Smith. It's a small Canadian town near the Arctic. Both his parents were teachers. Carney first studied at Harvard, then he went on to Oxford, and from there he ended up at Goldman Sachs, working as an investment banker. That's his initial career. But Carney wanted to do more, so he joined the Canadian Civil Services. In 2007, he was appointed as the governor of the Bank of Canada. He helmed the bank through the global financial crisis in 2008. His decisive actions earned him a lot of praise. Soon he was poached by another bank, the Bank of England. He was the first non-Briton to lead the bank in its 300-year history. Here, Carney's skills were tested by another event, Brexit. Carney was initially against the UK leaving the European Union. He warned of adverse effects on the economy.
Because there are effects that can happen in the real economy, and there are effects that can happen in the financial system. And if we don't deliver on financial stability, then the financial system will absolutely amplify and make worse the effects in the real economy.
His stance was not very popular, but the verdict on his handling of Brexit was near unanimous. Carney is said to have done a great job navigating the Brexit storm. He minimized the effects of the breakup. So there are no doubts about his economic credentials. He's clearly very good at his job. But he's untested in his new job. He has no political experience. He has never run for office. He's not a member of parliament. In fact, he will be the first Canadian Prime Minister with no political experience whatsoever. So why did the Liberals choose him? Reason number one is the contrast that he presents. For nearly a decade, the Liberals were led by Justin Trudeau. He came from a political family. He was said to be charming. He got people to listen to him. But charisma can only get you so far. Trudeau's reign took the Liberals to an all-time low. His approval ratings plunged and his party struggled. Mike Carney is the complete opposite. He's what many people call a boring guy. He definitely does not have Trudeau's so-called charm. He's a technocrat, not even a politician by trade, and most importantly, unlike Justin Trudeau, he does not make false accusations. Yes, I'm talking about the false charges against India. Mark Carney says he wants to build ties with India, and the Liberals believe that this calm demeanor can be his asset, especially in the current political climate, which is reason number two. Donald Trump is escalating a trade war with Canada, like with many other countries. In February, he announced a 25% tariff on Canadian goods. Then he delayed it for a month. Then in March, he reimposed the tariffs, and then he paused them again. But the pause was only for some goods, and Trump is not done yet. He's not backing down. He's threatening tariffs again next month. All of this has left Canadians in shock. Their disbelief has given way to anger. They're booing the US national anthem. They're boycotting American goods, removing American whiskey from shelves, even changing the name of Americano coffee to Canadiano. Well, this is the climate in which Mark Carney has to lead, and he believes that he's up for it. He once even compared Donald Trump to Voldemort, the one from Harry Potter, he who must not be named.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Carney wants to win the trade war against the US. How? By diversifying Canada's trade ties, especially with like-minded nations like India. He wants to rebuild the trading relationship with India, and that's a good signal. But the question is, how long will he lead Canada? The country is set to go to polls in October this year. Carney will be leading the Liberals. Standing against him will be Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party. Until now, the Conservatives had tapped into anger against the Liberals, especially over rising inflation and housing prices. But Donald Trump's trade war has changed that equation. Now the sentiment is inherently anti-American, and Canada seems to trust the Liberals more. Let me show you the findings of a recent poll. 43% trust Mark Carney with the economy. Only 34% trust Pierre Poilievre. So is Mark Carney the silver bullet the Liberals needed? Well, he has the credentials. Now he also has the job. But remember, politics is not banking. Winning trust in the boardroom is one thing. Winning over voters is quite another. With a trade war brewing and an election looming, he will have no time to settle into the job. His leadership will be tested in the weeks and months ahead.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.